Yeah, I wanted to get Tim and Brad and Shay because Shay's our resident tropical expert. I want to share the screen here, a tweet that I saw today. This is from Phil Klotzbach. And hopefully, can you guys see it? Okay, I think it's up now. But this is kind of showing the 24-hour intensification rates for the 2020 Atlantic hurricanes. You can see Hannah, I see it, Laura, Nana, Paulette, Sally. I mean, all of these storms just ramped up in a 24-hour time frame. I've seen a few talk on social media about that. This is concerning, I think, for all of us to see this, but what could be leading to this, Brad and Tim? What do you guys think may be leading to these rapid intensifications? Is it just a crazy year that we're talking 2020 tropics, or is there more to it?
You know, I was watching Sally last night, and it was weird to see Sally strengthen right close to the shore because it had been sitting there for 24 hours. You figure there's upwelling, right? The water's getting cooler. It was approaching southwest shear that was like 20 to 25 knots. You're like, so what the heck is causing this thing to intensify? And the only thing I can theorize, and just looking at the shear and the core, because it was close to radar, that's the only reason you can really look at it, was that you just once again had the eye wall kind of structurally change a little bit right at landfall. And two, that little northeast movement, I think, made it parallel with the shear. Actually, it enhanced its outflow. And if you looked at the upper levels, you could see the outflow got enhanced last night, which was venting the storm pretty dramatically. So I think it's a lot of things we don't think about. Oftentimes people think, oh, there had to be warm water. Sometimes there's structural things in the eye of the storm that change, that cause it to just, it's like an engine. The parts all come together and it's able to fully function. And I think that's what happened. Isaias, though, I still will not figure out what the heck that thing was wrapping around the east side that just burst the wind that caused it to flare up. That was something I had never seen. So I would love, this is going to be a great thesis project for some grad student to look at these storms, because it's just not warm water. You can't blame it on the warm water, because in many cases there wasn't warm water there.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest explanation is the best one, and it might just be bad luck this year. I really don't know, because this is not, I don't know that I could say that this is a multi-year trend. I can look at a lot of storms recently that actually weakened quite a bit just before landfall. So I think the situations are always just a little bit different. Remember, Florence went from like a 4 down to a 1 right before slamming in. So this is not an everyone thing, but that is concerning. Just this year, that trend of always seeming to ramp up. And as we know from history, when they're intensifying and they come ashore, they typically are much more damaging than the opposite.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Sally, with Brad, lining up with the shear and the outflow improving for the storm. I tried to look at sea surface temperatures. They didn't seem to cool a lot. You would think that the cool water upwelling would occur as it's slowing down and pushing water up the shelf. But Florence, we have a different kind of a shelf, a coastal shelf here. So that water was thrust up onto a shallower body, which happens right off the Florida Hatteras slope. And so you have a difference of 1,000 feet to 400, and then immediately goes to about 30 to 50 feet. And then it gets shallower as you head into the coastline. Well, the Gulf is a little bit different. The thermocline is a little bit lower. It's a little bit more gradual as you go upslope. And so that upwelling wouldn't be as rapid. But you figure with the storm slowing down that it would happen at some point. And so that's kind of an anomaly to me. But Laura at least was on the move. It wasn't slowing down. It was a pretty constant forward motion on that. So it's hard to say. It was already rapidly intensifying as it went ashore, even before it was going on shore. But it seemed like it got stronger just as it went inland a little bit. Those winds picked up. So very interesting.